Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. What do you think happened to Jeffrey Epstein in that detention center? Do you think he committed suicide, he killed himself? Or do you think that some other people did something else to him? Well, regardless of whatever you think, we can analyze whatever we can find out about that episode. And that is, I haven't been there, but I've been involved. Let's put it this way, I worked in the field of that kind of situations, which is in areas where people are in detention centers. And I haven't worked in a high security detention center with such important individual, you might think, as Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein. Therefore, I have my own convictions. Why? I worked in a secure detention center where there were not important people. And still, the way it was structured, it was almost impossible to do what these guys say that Mr. Epstein did. Now, I'm not here to find out what happened to him. I'm here to expose two people who might have credibility in your hearts, in your brain. Both of them had some credibility. One of them lost it. I will explain when. That is Mr. Bongino, Dan Bongino. And the other one is Kash Patel, the current, FBI director. So I don't have, how should I put it, preconceptions. My conceptions are made by direct experience, listening to what these guys are saying, and especially looking and analyzing what they're doing. So what happened? I have here two sources. One is a video where we have Mr. Kash Patel, who is testifying in front of a senatorial commission, in front of Senator Kennedy. And Mr. Kennedy is going to ask Mr. Patel point blank if he thinks that Jeffrey Epstein committed something in the penitentiary, in that detention facility. And Kash Patel says, I'm going to show you what he says. And then we're going to go to Mr. Bongino, who thinks the same way, that Mr. Epstein committed something alone over there. So then I will discuss with you my direct experience, and then we're going to discuss what could be the implications of these smart guys. They're not imbeciles, Patel and Bongino, but I have no evidence, but I'm just trying to analyze it with logic and my direct experience. I don't think they are really telling us the truth, and I would like to know why. All right, let's start with the first source, which is a video, obviously from Kennedy. This is minute 451. About 451 is going to ask the question. And listen to Mr. Kennedy asking Mr. Patel this question and pay attention to his answer.
Did Jeffrey Epstein hang himself or did somebody kill him?
Senator, I believe he hung himself in a cell in the Metropolitan Detention Center.
Are you going to release all the information about that?
Senator, we are working through that right now with the Department of Justice.
When you think you'll have it done, Cash?
I think in the near future, sir.
Did you hear that? Will you release it? We're working on it. When do you think we'll have it? In the near future. Do you like those answers? Now, he believes that he hung himself. Okay, that's the first one. And the second one is not a video, is an article. Right here, The Hill. This is from the 19th of May, 2025. Patel, right here, and Bongino, right there. You know the guy? Okay. Dismiss Epstein conspiracy theories. And I'm quoting, he killed himself. All right. Disgraced financier and convicted sex offender Jeff Epstein died by suicide in New York prison in 2019. FBI Director Kash Patel and Deputy Director Dan Bongino reaffirmed Sunday, countering conspiracy theories that the have lingered since Epstein died, while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. All right, so what do you think, my friends? Well, I don't know, but let's analyze. In the detention centers I worked, we had this. We did rounds. We had wings, okay? And we were, in my situation, we were 2 workers per wing, with about 15 residents, they were called. And they had their locked rooms, and you do rounds. I know it was maybe 15 minutes when they slept, when they went to sleep. 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes you will go and look and check the guy, knock on the door if you want, go in with the keys and verify what's going on with the person if you have any doubts. Now, if the person, the resident, was suspected or did something during the day and it was determined that he is a suicide risk, we would do the rounds every 5 minutes for that particular residence. 15 minutes rounds for regular and 5 every 5 minutes. And every 5 minutes, the 2 of us had to document what we found. He was sleeping, facing up. This is not a New York detention center with a financier with multi-million and all that thing with a list. It was just residents, okay? So that's what we did. And then we were 3 wings, we were 6 workers, plus a supervisor, all right? Or maybe sometimes 2. So in that ridiculous detention center, we were at least 7 people. I'm talking about the night rounds. During the daytime, there were more than that. And they had maybe 1 hour rest time during the day. The rest they had program. Right? They had a program. It was very well structured, one of the detention centers. The other one was as well, but I'm talking about the particular one that I mentioned here. And it was all run by men. Anyway, there were some female employees as well for the wing where female residents were incarcerated. How do you want to call it? So we have these guys here. From what I heard regarding Epstein, this detention center is a very high-tech detention center. It's not like a county something over there, where you have a multimillionaire, high-risk suicide with sheets specifically made from paper and whatever they are that you cannot commit what he committed. Put on suicide watch. Remember, there's so many variables I'm mentioning. One, the guys knew he could be. Second, he had the clothes and everything else, so he cannot commit such a thing. It's specific, particularly done. Then they have the policy. They have to do the rounds. They have to do better rounds than we did. And they had the cameras. Now, we, in the poor facility that I worked in, they didn't have the cameras inside the cells, were they? I think they were in each of them. Yes, they were. And they were also I can't remember, it was more than 10 years ago, let's put it this way, more than 10 years ago. So I think they had camera, because you could see them and you could talk to them. I don't remember actually seeing them. I remember that you could communicate with them from outside, if you want, from whatever the head room, whatever it was. I can't remember. Anyway, nevertheless, these guys had cameras in New York. They had people that did rounds. He was on suicide watch. He had the clothes. He had the sheets to prevent him from doing that. So how many variables? And now we say that all these variables failed at the first attempt. Or maybe the second. But if it would be the second, I'm telling you, he would be naked somewhere alone in a room with nothing. So, very high ability, don't you think? So the cameras, the videos did not work. These guys, the guys that were supposed to do the rounds, fell asleep. Both of them. There were only 2, if I remember correctly. And these guys committed with those things specially built so he cannot commit. Now, Is it possible? It's very possible. It's like possible, like you would win, let's say, a $40 billion lottery. Let's say twice a year. I'm just exaggerating. You know what I mean? So anyway, there's the odds, I would say. Do I have any other information? Well, I would direct you to Rudolf Hess's hanging in Spandau prison in Germany. Some people said it was MI6 doing it because he was too old, he couldn't get his hand up, and I know all about it. And then they sealed Mr. Rudolf Hess's, that bad guy, who landed in England with his plane like this, so he just slid down. You know how he landed? Because he couldn't eject. He was alone. He defected Germany. He wanted to land and talk to a how do you call those guys? Lord. Anyway, to make peace with Great Britain, he was prevented. So nevertheless, the same with this guy. This guy committed suicide. Okay, I think if I put my experience, my baboon experience, it was almost impossible for those residents to commit what this guy committed in high security with cameras and very important person. That's my personal assessment. Nobody will convince me ever. Right? Nobody. I don't think it's possible. Too many variables coincided at the same time. Now, let's look at these guys. Kash Patel. I never heard about this guy until he was appointed and then confirmed as the FBI director. Never heard. I listened to him and I said, oh, this guy has chutzpah, balls, and he talks, he's smart and he is not easily intimidated. Well, sometimes adversaries have this kind of people, or people in the organized crime have very witty people and ballsy, but they work for the wrong people, not for the good, you know what I mean? So I don't know Mr. Patel, but his statement for me raises big doubts that he is on the side of reality, let's put it mildly. Now, Dan Bongino. Dan Bongino was a Secret Service, I listened to him. I used to listen to before he had his podcast. He had a podcast, and then he worked for a media outlet, and then he got, I think, fired or something, and I'm not sure, I can't remember, but I know he started his podcast, Dan Bongino Show or something. And I listened to his shows, and when he was invited, I think by Tucker Carlson, that's why I think I saw him for the first time, if I remember correct. So that must have been more than, I can't remember exactly. And I liked some takes, as I used to like, to a certain extent, Ben Shapiro, until they touched subjects where I know that is where you have your intellectual integrity destroyed, which are Israel and Palestinians. That's where you see someone's intellectual honesty, and the other one is Russia/Putin. So Ben Shapiro, logical until those subjects. When those subjects, facts didn't exist anymore. It was just whatever he wants to push. The same thing I observed with Dan Bongino regarding Putin and Russia. He made some claims like Putin is a criminal, very, very against Putin, I would say, directly. And I was thinking, there's certain things that are not proven and you just say it. So for me, it was a skewed take on reality. I said, he got a problem with that. That means in my books, he's not intellectually honest. And I stopped watching him. I said, okay, stamp, gone. The same with Ben Shapiro. When I realized that he has a problem being honest and factual, as he claims to be, facts don't care about your feelings or something like that, right? I realized those two subjects, he's going to be gone. For me, okay, you're dishonest. Because you might talk about subjects I'm not aware of. I don't know anything about them. And I can't trust you anymore because you lost that trust. Because when you say things about subjects I know about and I realize you're dishonest, how about things that I don't know and I listen to you? I can't verify. I don't know if you're telling the truth. So I stopped listening to them because I thought they were dishonest. So that's when I stopped with Ben Jambino. Now, both Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, with these statements, for me, they're gone. Now, why would they make this claim? Remember, Dan Bongino was picked and appointed, right? He is now the deputy secretary something Daniel John Bongino is an American government official, conservative. He served as the 20th Deputy Director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation since 2025. So he is the Deputy Director. Let me show you. Deputy Director of Investigation. This guy right here. So we just picked pop as from a podcaster former. This boom right there, and then you have this guy. Right there is the FBI guy, and both of them say they know. Why? Is that what they... I don't think... I can't read their hearts, but their statements for me speak enough. I don't think that they believe that. What can be? I tell you what can be. Where are the lists? Or where is the list? We know there's a list. Where is the list? The fact that we the people, do not know the list, and we don't have anybody charged. Not even, no, I'm not talking about convicted, charged. I'm not talking about previous, based on the list. There's many people that I heard they are on the list, including, Elon Musk talking about the lists will be released after 20th of January 2025 when Donald Trump will be sworn in. The list will be, so that means it was not maybe an imaginary list. The list, that means there's a list. So some people know there is a list, and they don't let us know. And these guys being over there tell you with straight face, I believed he, really? I mean, Dan Bongino must have been working at one point and this guy in a penitentiary. He must know something about that. I, as a very, very low level, in a very, very low institution, I know how structured that was. And these guys tell me that this multimillionaire, maybe with Mossad links and others, was just, people just went over there, two baboons with 6-inch nails, and were sleeping over there, cuddling in the penitentiary in New York or New Jersey penitentiary. Do you believe that? I don't believe that. A squat. And I think as a human being, I'm allowed, a free human being supposedly, I'm allowed to have critical thinking and say, I don't believe that at all. At all. You can believe it if you want. But for me, these two people are gone as Ben Shapiro a long time ago. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.